Hey, everybody, and welcome to the Seventh Rule with Sirach Lofton and Melissa Longo. My name is Ryan T. Husk. Today we are joined by Lolita Fatjo. To know her is to love her.
Woohoo! Did I do that right?
Almost. There it is.
There it
is. So we have so much to discuss with Lolita here because she is not your average con goer. She is more of the con creator than anything else. First off, we put you on the hot seat, Lolita.
All right, I'm ready.
What's your favorite Star Trek series?
Deep Space.
Whoa. What?
Woohoo!
What?
No doubt about it. No doubt.
Wow, that easy too.
Yeah. Didn't have to think 1 second about that. Space Nine.
Wow.
Ryan, I don't think you gave Lolita enough of an introduction. I'm going to have to call you out on it. She's one of the legends in this business. She's really an unsung hero behind the scenes that makes a lot of things happen. And she's one of the few people that knows the entire top to bottom of Star Trek, from from the writers to the producers to the, everybody, and there's only a few people that I put in the category of Lolita who's knows the whole thing, basically can take it all apart like Chief O'Brien and put it all back together again.
The engineer or something.
Yes. The engineer. Yes. And I just wanted to make sure that you got your credit for that, because not only are you just this strong person who's so knowledgeable, but it should also be noted that as a woman, you are holding your own in a very male-dominated business, and I think that you should get your proper kudos for that as well.
Oh, thank you. Yes, it's still a male business. Women are getting stronger in this business, but it's not there yet.
Mm.
No, but you hold your own. You're not afraid of anybody, and
nope.
I do like the way that you. No, I just like the way that you made your presence felt by everybody in this business, and you have earned the respect of all of us. And I think that for those people that don't know who you are, know much about you, they should do their research on Lolita, because she is instrumental in this entire Star Trek universe.
Right.
Oh, thank you, Sirach. I appreciate that.
And as we've hinted before, Lolita, we would love to. We'd already love to have you back a second time in one of our CNF series, where we really go and do a deep dive into what you did for Star Trek and with Star Trek for many years, and several series as well. There's just so much there.
Yeah, that's a whole other conversation.
Mm-hmm. Lots of good stuff. Yeah. But then you kind of made a transition from that career into representing actors as an appearance manager, not just actors, but also crew people, I believe. When did that happen?
That actually happened simultaneously with working on both shows. It was either TNG and Deep Space Nine, or Deep Space Nine and Voyager. So it was always two shows that seemed like I was working on for so long. But I got involved in the conventions early on. My dear friend Eric Stillwell, who used to be me, who was a script coordinator before I was, took me to my first Star Trek convention in 1987, the year that I came to Star Trek. Yeah, I know. You guys weren't even born yet. Anyway.
I was.
We were.
Okay, barely. But he took me to one. I wasn't a Star Trek fan. I mean, I took the job just as a job, which we can talk about the next time we do this. But he took me, and I was like, I don't know, Eric, this seems kind of weird. I've heard about these conventions, but somehow it was such a nice community of these fans, and I'd already known some of the actors on Next Gen, which that kind of helped. But anyway, I kind of got hooked, and I started working for Creation Entertainment, selling T-shirts for them at the conventions every weekend. And from that point, all of a sudden, it went from selling T-shirts to being a guest on stage and doing writers' workshops and things. And I think I still to this day think it was Renee Aubergenois who came to me at some point during a day somewhere on the lot or at a convention and said, you know, Lolita, our agents do not want to deal with this. Our theatrical agents hate this convention stuff. It's not a lot of money. They don't want to deal with it. You know all these promoters. You've been out on the circuit. Will you do these negotiations for us? And that's how that started. It was just word of mouth. So,
wow, really? So Renee was kind of speaking for the group and saying, we'd love it if you did this.
I think so, because pretty much I had most of that cast of Deep Space Nine and some of the TNG cast eventually, and Voyager eventually, and then Enterprise, which I didn't even work on. But to my dear friend Jeff Combs, he said to Connor and Dominic, you know, you need to go with Lolita. So we've had a long history there. So that's how it all started. And I really do want to attribute it to that's so many years ago, but I do think it was Renee. So
can you tell us, because you know everybody in the whole universe, can you tell us who this sexy woman in this picture is?
That's a very young me.
Wait, hang on, Sirach. I'm gonna hold that up again, Sirach. There it is.
So she just mentioned Renee
with Renee and Armin.
A very young. Yep. Yep. And I can tell you where that was. That was in Tulsa, Oklahoma, at a ThunderCon. Yep.
ThunderCon.
Wow.
No, be good, Ron. Be good.
Well, no, I was just thinking, is that, I mean, because, you know, Oklahoma City Thunder. I wonder if that's just kind of like thunder is some kind of thing that they do.
Yeah.
It's a thing for them.
And Chase Masterson and I have that, well, we don't have them anymore. We had the matching top, because everywhere Chase and I during that day always had matching outfits. Everywhere. And I know where we bought those shirts, even in England. But anyway, yes, that was.
They're like the flower child shirts.
They were flower power. Yeah. That's so funny.
So now, Lolita, that's where it started. Now you represent what, like 25 people, or how many
on a given day? Yeah, even more sometimes. It depends.
Wow.
Yeah, but it's been fun. And I, for a long time, had my own convention company. I think people don't even remember that. Yeah, it was called Horizon Conventions. And it was Ron Moore, Brandon Braga, Eric Stillwell, and I formed a company. And that was in the heyday of the conventions, which was in the 90s, early 90s. And we went everywhere. We promoted the biggest Star Trek event in England ever at the Royal Albert Hall for the premiere of the first Next Generation movie. We had the entire cast and Bill Shatner at a convention at the Royal Albert Hall in London. Pretty amazing. Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah. And Eric and I hosted it. So I was on stage for that whole weekend thinking, and I'm an actress. That was like an actor's dream to be on stage at the Royal Albert Hall.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was pretty cool. That was probably the big premiere in London the night before, the red carpet, the whole deal.
Wow.
So.
Sirach, did you start to say something?
Yeah, I was just thinking, I'm sure you have a bunch of great memories like that. And, you know, traveling the world, that's one of the great things about conventions. You get to travel the world, see new places. Yeah. And so I was going to ask you if there were conventions like that stand out in your mind that, you know, just have that kind of special connection.
Absolutely. Yeah. The Royal Albert Hall by far is the top. I mean, to see Patrick Stewart literally crying on stage, to think he'd finally made it to the Royal Albert Hall. You know, another English actress, just like blown away. And for me to be on stage during this was utterly amazing. But also going to Australia for one of my many trips to Australia, I've been very fortunate. But the one time I got to go to Perth, which is, you know, that's like the east coast of Australia, and swimming in the Indian Ocean, thinking, oh my God, I can't believe I'm actually doing this. And then I think the Star Trek cruises have been another amazing thing I've been doing since 1995. So, but yeah, I've gone to Rome 20 times for conventions, 20 times in a row, except
what?
Amazing.
Yeah. So it's been a wild ride. Places I never would have thought I would go to. Even as simple as like Fresno, California. Back in the heyday of the conventions, we would go there was conventions, 3 of them every weekend that Creation would put on. Fresno, California, Rosa, California, Bakersfield. I mean, just, it was amazing. I know I'm saying that word a lot, but it really was. It was the heyday. I look back now and I think, I don't know if I could keep up and I was working full time doing all that.
Wow.
Yeah, we would leave on Friday after work because they were usually just Saturday and Sunday back in the old days. We would fly after work. We'd get there. We'd work all day Saturday, all day Sunday, fly back Sunday night and be at work 7 a.m. Monday morning. So,
did you ever get a chance to meet Gene Roddenberry?
Oh, absolutely. I met Gene. When I first got my job in 1987, I worked in the writing department, which is where Gene had his office. So he was one of the first people I met. That was the second season of Next Generation. So he was still really active then and really, really nice guy. Never came into the office. Every morning he would say hello to everyone and never missed a birthday, always had us in his office for birthday parties. And and again, not being a Star Trek fan, I knew who he was. And I knew I was working for someplace special back then. And obviously all these years later.
All these years later. Wow.
Yeah. All these years later. Half my adult life, actually. So who knew?
But. Okay. Lolita, I've got to ask you though. I mean, you've been to so many of these. Is there one moment that stands out at any convention ever as the funniest moment, the moment that you just laughed the hardest, whether it was laughing at somebody's discomfort or laughing at your own silliness?
Yes. It's hard to explain, but it was laughter out of sheer, God help us, we're flopping so badly. We do something. It's true. The Rat Pack with Max. You guys know what the Rat Pack is. With Max and Jeff Combs and Casey and Vaughn and Ethan Phillips. And we were in Germany a few years ago, and the tech part of this concert was so horrible. No one could hear us. We couldn't hear each other. We couldn't hear anything. And as the guys were singing, I kept running up on stage and going, they can't hear you. They can't hear you. And they'd be like, what are we supposed to do? And it was so frustrating. And we were so angry at the time. But now I'll get on the phone with Jeff Combs, and I saw him the other day too. And now we just laugh, like tears pouring down, because it was so bad. So bad that it was, in retrospect. And poor Ethan, he's always telling those jokes. He's just
oh no.
And dead silence in the audience. They couldn't hear
Nobody's laughing. Nothing.
So I think that's probably one of the highlights of laughing. Yeah, that was great. In retrospect, it was great.
So everybody at home listening in the chat pack, sorry, the Rat Pack, we're so used to saying the chat pack. We have the Rat Pack every year in Star Trek Las Vegas. And by the way, everybody, at a future date, we got to make sure to get the Rat Pack, the Star Trek Rat Pack, over at the new Star Trek convention in Chicago in April. This is a very important thing, because no Star Trek convention is complete without the Rat Pack. This is a very important. Melissa, can you vouch for us here and tell us how you feel about the Rat Pack, please?
I love the Rat Pack. I mean, these fellas are amazing. The energy and the chemistry on stage between these guys is incredible. And yeah, there's no convention would be complete without the Rat Pack. And even though I've seen the show many, 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 many times, it's different every time. So it's always special.
Yeah. And I can tell you that as of today, one more time, Nana Visitor is joining the Rat Pack in Las Vegas.
What?
This year in August?
Wonderful treat.
This year in August.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. She was so good.
Yeah.
Yes, the last time was Amazing.
She was there the last time, and she's officially there now.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Wow.
So the fellows now. It's also that class act of Nana visitor. Unbelievable.
That's
So
so cool.
I mean,
Better.
yes, and she's a showman when it comes to, you know, being on stage or performing.
Mm-hmm.
She's
She's the
She's Broadway.
showstopper.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's Broadway.
Showstopper.
So yes, it's
Yeah, she's
important.
Broadway.
We need to get the Rat Pack to the show in April of next year. So whatever we can do for that would be great.
Yeah,
Because
we'll
I think
definitely do that.
the fans of Las Vegas convention are so used to having that to do on Sunday night. Otherwise, where are they going to go? There's nothing more to do. You want to continue the party.
Right.
So it's the best way to end the weekend.
And I've gone on record in the past saying this, and I stand by it. I mean, like, absolutely the highlight best show of every year for me is that Sunday night with the Rat Pack, because you've had this long convention, you've had all this fun, and you don't want the fun to end, and you're sad that it's over. And then this big, amazing, fun, hilarious show happens, and it's just like you're mesmerized for an hour and a half or 2 hours. And it, you know, it's actually kind of an emotional moment, you know, because you're sad, you're happy. The songs are beautiful. There's a certain emotion in there that's really hard to explain, but it's actually a really beautiful thing. And the songs, most of them are funny, but they're also really nice. They're also beautiful. You know, some of them are very moving, and it's just, you know, I think whoever came up with that idea, it was a brilliant idea.
That would be me.
Oh, what do you know?
and Max. Yeah. Max and I, you know, we've had all kinds of shows over the years, and it was just something that just kind of sitting around talking, because we used to do the Ferengi Family Hour with Aaron and Cecily and Chase, and I've always been one for wanting to create things at the conventions that aren't just the typical Q&A. So that's how other things have been born. You know, there's a Shakespeare stuff at night, which is a lot of fun. And yeah, we've done all kinds of things over the years. And some of them have just stuck around, like the Rat Pack.
Mm-hmm.
So
I have a question for you, Lolita, because I know how exhausting these conventions can be. You know, they started off like 2 days. You know, it would be like a Saturday, Sunday. Then they added the Friday, and now it's like a week. Soon it'll be 2 weeks. And my question for you is really, because I know as an actor and just having to be there for the autographs and the photo op sessions, it's still tiring for me. And I know that you have even more on your plate than every actor that's there, because you're organizing and coordinating so many people and so many different things. What is the downtime for you to get like decompress from one of these conventions?
Well, it depends on the convention, but something like Star Trek Las Vegas or Star Trek The Cruise, there is no downtime for those 7 days or 5 days, whatever it is. It's just you get there, and I never leave that hotel. It's too freaking hot out to go outside, but you know, in Vegas, but it really isn't any time. I mean, I look forward to just being able to sneak off and have a meal with some friends at the restaurant there, the same all-American grill every single day, but it's to go. So yeah, it's a lot of work, but I'll tell you, I like it because it goes by fast. You know, those days are long, long days, but they whiz by because there's no stop and go. So I prefer that to anything else. I'd rather have it fly by. Okay. But then I come home and I want to go, okay, now it's time to take another week off.
Okay.
Definitely.
What are you most looking forward to this year?
Seeing everyone after COVID, after not being there last year. I mean, seeing everyone. As you know, Ryan, we just spent more than a week filming the Voyager documentary. And just doing that was so nice to see people.
Yeah, it was.
Hug people, talk to them, not worry about having a mask on. So I'm not sure what the climate exactly will be in Vegas with, you know, protocols, but it doesn't matter. People are going to be there having fun. The fans are, I know, so looking forward to it. I'm probably looking more forward to it this year than I ever do, because it is a lot of work for me and it's a lot of work for everybody. But now this time I'm just looking forward to hanging out with people and seeing people that I haven't seen, that I normally see at least every August and didn't see last year. So
Yeah.
Melissa's nodding pretty hard right now.
No, it was so great to see you on set too and give you a hug. I missed the hugs, and I'm still looking forward to that and hugging everyone I haven't seen, and it's like coming home.
It is.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's why conventions are so special.
One thing that it is, and that's what I think this whole COVID taught us is how we can cherish each other. You know, it feels like we're all part of this big family, and when you don't get to see your family members and you're isolated, you realize, wow, I really do miss everybody. I miss interactions and socializing and having a drink and talking, you know, small talk about whatever is going on. And as that thing is taken away from you, you know, you start to realize, oh my God, that meant a lot to me in my life. And these kinds of things, experiences mean so much to me. Mm-hmm. That's why I too am excited to go back and give everybody a hug or shake hands and just catch up with everybody. It's just seeing somebody face to face, that energy of just being around people.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's going to be a lot. And I really think that except for the fans that can't come into the country from wherever, you know, outside the US, I think we're going to have as big of a crowd as normal, because I think people have been waiting and saving money. And there may be people that have never been that are going to come from the United States because they've been anxious to get out and do something. So I think it'll be.
Right. Yeah. You never know what you have until it's gone. But luckily, usually that lesson is taught to us when something or someone is gone, but we actually just got a year off and now we get to come back with renewed appreciation for it. So everybody at home, if and when you see Lolita at a convention, say hello, tell her how wonderful of a job she does, but don't take too much of her time because she is busy. She's working.
She is busy.
She is working this week.
She's got stuff to do. Okay.
Like 22 people to move around over the course of the weekend is a lot, but it's fun.
Yeah.
And again, unfortunately, because of COVID, I have a really good team that has been with me for years, and 2 of them can't come this year. So it's like, yeah, but we'll make it through. It's Star Trek. We persevere. So.
Yeah, we will.
Right.
Yes, we will.
Well, we're just about out of time here. And Lolita, thank you so much for taking the time to hang out with us. July is probably a pretty busy month for you. Do you have any final thoughts or final words for anybody that maybe has never been to a convention before and is considering it?
I think that this is the perfect convention to get your feet wet. If you've never been to one, this is the one to go to, because it's all encompassing. It's 5 days of fun. And I think you should come. Get out there and go. If you haven't been traveling, this would be a great place to go. But do stay in the hotel for 5 days because it's too hot outside. But
truer words were never spoken. Yeah, I do not leave that hotel. I do not. Exactly. I don't even see the sun unless it's out my window.
Yes. Sometimes I have to go outside to meet, you know, the actors or the talent that are being dropped off. And it's like, I just, even for 10 minutes, it's miserable, but it's worth going. Absolutely. 20 air conditioned inside. Yeah.
It is.
Yes.
Cold.
Oh, yeah. It's cool when you get inside.
Yeah. Well, thanks you guys for having me. And I'll see you all in August. It'll be here before we know it.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Thank you, Lolita. Yes, we definitely want to interview you again and talk more about other things that we didn't have a chance to get into, because you have all this information and all this wealth of knowledge, and we'd love for you to share more about your story. But thank you so much for just coming today and give us the inside scoop.
Absolutely, you guys. Take care. Thanks so much. We'll see you soon.
Great. Thank you very much. Right. And everybody at home, Keep an eye out for Lolita. Come to the conventions, and always remember the 7th rule.